Hi you guys, welcome back to a first impression video. This is the series where I review an entire sewing pattern collection. This time it's going to be Butterick's summer collection. So we're going to take a look at every single pattern that Butterick released for the summer collection, and we're just going to talk about, how it fits, some different fabric choices that there might be, and just kind of like chat about the overall design. So if you like looking at sewing patterns, this is the video for you. All right, so we're starting off with this Mrs. dress. Um, it comes in sizes 8 to 16 and 18 to 26. Loose fitting dresses have stand up collar, yoke with front bands, tiered hem, and side seam pockets. View A has purchase bias armhole facings. Okay. View B has short set-in sleeves with ruffled trim and rickrack. This term, biased armhole facings, is a little bit confusing because bias finish is not the same as a facing, so that's why I got a little hung up on that terminology. But I'm assuming you use bias tape to finish the armholes. Okay, so super cute actually. I'm digging these like kind of loose fitting like dresses, like the oversized. It may have seams, but it's still kind of like this A-line shape. This one has this kind of yoke situation happening with a V-neck and a stand collar, and that's not different for either version. This one just has sleeves, and the sleeve also has a ruffle detail. Now this rickrack situation, I mean, it can be kind of high end. I could see that in like a department store. I think the white and black was a very smart choice. I do like the idea of it, the concept of it. I'm not entirely sure that it fully applies to this. It's not translating to this pattern in my mind. Um, I think maybe something simpler, maybe without the yoke, would be. I don't know. It's just a lot going on already with the yoke and all these gathered tiers and stuff, but then you add the rickrack on and it's just like one more thing. Also, interestingly enough, I just realized this has no buttons. So you are just out. And they used eyelet on this. So it's also see-through. This version is. So that's an interesting choice. I also do want to check because the other one, the red version, had armhole facings or the bias facing, so that makes me believe that it's meant to be, it's not a grown on sleeve, and that's what we're getting here, a very long shoulder length. So I want to double check that on the line drawings to see if that's the intention or not. See how this one, I mean, it is a little bit long on the shoulder, so, but not as long as this. This is fully like over the cap of her shoulder, touching the top of her bicep. This one is not. The white one comes kind of like here. So I don't know what the intent is. Probably this yoke is too long or too wide. I almost wonder if you couldn't somehow make the arm side and the yoke become one, but then that also gets a little iffy. Yeah, I don't know. I would try and it's tricky with this. If you reduce the size of this, then you'd come out. That would be fine if you came out a little bit here with this seam line. So yeah, because you don't want to mess with this. That's just too much. Too much. Okay, here's the back, and this is when you can tell it's really too big for her. If your shoulders act as the hanger, and this is hanging off of you, this and it's too big, it just looks too big. It's a lot harder to conceal this or hide this in the back. Now, because there's no true waist seam, this is not at your waist. It's not at the illustration's waist, and it's not at the model's waist. The front is giving you that kind of like a little bit of shaping at the underbust, but the back doesn't have that same feature. So it is just long and wide in the back, like a big square. And because they added the rickrack, it just stands out a lot more where that seam starts at the high hip. Okay, here are our line drawings. You can barely see them, but yeah, it looks this, the back on, I will say the back of this does give the same kind of vision as the one the model is wearing. Um, I think if they had sized down for her, it would have looked a little bit cleaner. Okay, cotton blends, eyelet fabric, gauze, linen, sateen. Yeah, all those usual breathable, lightweight but stable summer fabrics. And then here's the bias tape for the armhole on the sleeveless version, and then the rickrack, the jumbo rickrack for B. There's our sizes. Finished garment measurement wise, we are getting 8.5 inches in the bust. That makes sense for something that's intended to be oversized, but I think that if you were going to drop down somewhere to the 6 inch range, it would still give that kind of like blousey, big, oversized look, but look a little bit more intentional. So if you were a size 12 and you had those 8.5 inches of ease, actually this one has, hold on, let me do the math. 6. This one only has 7.5. Okay. So, and then you size down. So let's say you're 34 in the bust, you size down, and now you're getting a finished garment measurement of 40. You're 34. That's 6 inches of ease. That makes a lot more sense. So I would probably encourage most people to size down one on this. Okay. And I think that the Butterick does provide a lot of finished ease, a lot of wearing ease, and a lot more importantly design ease. Butterick's just kind of always been known for kind of being too big, so sizing down 1 for Butterick is pretty normal. Some of these we might be sizing down 2, and that would be kind of shocking. That doesn't happen a lot. Okay, this is a Mrs. skirt, same size range as before, loose fitting lined tiered skirts. Lined tiered skirts have elastic waist casing. View A has pom-pom trim. So here we are with the trim again. Double elastic channel. Another tiered skirt. That's really nothing new. And then this one has the pom-pom on it. Pom-pom trim. A couple things here. One, it can look a little costumey, right? This is definitely giving like Chiquita Banana Girl, for lack of a better term, but also the way that they applied this. Why couldn't the braid of the trim go into the seam instead of it just being top stitched on? You know what I'm saying? Would that look better? Maybe. It just definitely looks like a skirt that you would either wear to like dance class, if you were doing like Latin dance class, salsa and stuff, or a European vacation with the pom-pom trim. The plain one is good. It's fine. It's just as good as any other tiered skirt. Yeah, the back looks, yeah, it's fine. It's, again, nothing super special about this. These are kind of a dime a dozen. Okay, eyelet fabric, gauze, georgette, jerseys, and voile. So this one, again, is those summery, lightweight fabrics. These do have a little bit more drape in them than the last dress. And then they're only giving us finished hip because the waist is elasticized, so you can kind of make that your own waist. And this should have generous ease in the hip. We're looking at 33 to 41, so that's, what is that, 6.5, 7.5? Yeah, that makes sense for a skirt like this. Yeah, because the hip is right here, and then it just gets fuller and fuller. One thing I did want to see, what are the fabric requirements for this? Oh, I see. Okay, so the outer part is tiered. If you can hear Biscuit dinning, I'm really sorry. She's just like digging, trying to find somewhere comfortable, and it has to be right here next to me. So the lining of the skirt is just an A-line skirt. Okay, so keep that in mind. So technically, you're kind of getting 2 skirts in one. You could definitely use the lining just to make an A-line maxi skirt. But then the outer part of it is what's tiered. Okay, so 4.5 yards at the biggest size. So yeah, it's a lot of fabric. But if you don't have one of these skirts, like I said, it's as good of a design as any of the other ones. Okay, here's Katherine Tilton. It's the same kind of thing she always does with a lot of asymmetry. Um, very loves a tunic. Loves a tunic. 8 to 16 and 18 to 26 on the size range. Band collar tops have front placket closure with offset buttons and a pointed hemline. View A has 3/4 sleeves. View B is sleeveless with inseam side pockets. I mean, this is just very Katherine Tilton. It kind of relates to, if you remember, like some of the women's stores from like the 90s. Like, remember Chico's back in the 90s, though? Not the new Chico's. The new Chico's actually isn't that bad. Either that or I'm just getting old. One of the two. Cato. Remember Cato? Though that's the vibe it gives me. So always a tunic, always some kind of funky button band, always asymmetrical. Um, that's just her vibe. And I gotta say, the blue one's a little meh, but this one, I could see like a hip granny wearing something like this and looking super chic. I could see someone younger wearing it too, but not like this. This looks like, in my mind, the kind of grandma I want to be. But I think if a younger person were going to wear it and paired it with, for example, maybe that skirt we just saw, there's some people doing some really cool things with oversized stuff and like lots and lots of layering that's looking really cool and chic. I could never pull it off, but when I see other people do it, I'm like, you look so cool and comfortable. Remember those big belts from the 90s that had like or for 90s, 2000s that had those big round, like 3-4 inch round metal things, and that was what made up the belt, and then it like hooked and part of it like hung down. Those are coming back, so I can see that with this like low slung and like I don't know, I could just see it being kind of cool if you worked with the styling. Okay, broadcloth, chambray, cotton and cotton blends, linen and linen types. Again, lightweight but stable, summery fabrics, breathable, all of that. 6 buttons down the front, and then finished, we have 6 inches of ease in the bust. It doesn't look like that here. It looks like she actually has no ease. She actually kind of looks pretty schmooshed in there, if I'm being honest. This one is giving more ease, but I'm still not getting 6 inches in the bust. That's for sure. Also, this arm side is super low. And on the sleeveless version, you can even see some side boob right here. So I'm glad I noticed that. That's an issue. The arm side needs to be up, obviously. I usually like to measure like 2 fingers below my armpit is where it should end. But this is also, it's not too tight, but it's definitely not 6 inches. It's not pulling here, but it's definitely not 6 inches of ease. So double check that for sure. And then the rest of it should be fine because it flares out so much. I mean, if you look at the line drawing, let's look at the big version of it. You can see it is supposed to be fitted around here. You should base it off of your bust measurement. But it shouldn't be that tight. Yeah, I don't know where they're getting 6 inches of ease at the bust line from. No idea where they're getting that. And then you can even see here how maybe it's intended to be that long, because this would be where the full bust is, but you don't want it to be that long. You don't, that's just, are we supposed to be wearing something underneath it so that you don't see side boob? Because I don't think that's the intention. That doesn't feel Like, that doesn't feel Katherine Tilton to me at all, showing side boob. Okay, next we've got a dress. Okay, dress in two lengths. The smaller of the size range, 6 to 14 and 16 to 24. Loose fitting dresses have back yoke, back pleat, collar, invisible front zipper. That's cool. Front neck facings, purchased bias tape armhole facings, side front pockets, and 5/8 inch stitched hem. Okay. So, cute little, like, polo-y. It's like a combination between a polo and a t-shirt dress. Like, if those two things had a baby. And again, I love the front invisible zipper. That's such a fun detail. The pockets are in this, they're calling them side seam pockets, but they're really kind of the more of the princess seam, because this would be the side seam. But maybe there's not a true side seam. Maybe this side panel wraps around to the back. I do hope, and you'll have to check this on your pattern whenever you get it, that the pattern piece somehow is anchored to this center front seam. If it's just a teardrop that flops around in there, no thank you. I would redraft it to just be like kind of squared off up here, meet inside this seam line, and then scoop. That's how I would do it myself. I have another video on it, on redrafting pockets to match your pattern pieces. I think you can just search pockets on my channel and you can find it. All right. But yeah, it's really cute, right? Can't you see yourself, like, again, just with the bangles and the little statement earrings? I don't know about the long version necessarily. I also don't know about it with heels. That's not at all how I would have styled it. But again, Butterick kind of goes for that. You got to think back to, like, the women's wear of the 90s. Like, that Butterick is kind of stuck there in the styling. I would still have worn the bangles and the earrings, but I would have put like a wedge on, not this heel, like a low wedge or like a platform something or another. But there's the back, cute. It seems to fit really well all through here. Shoulder seems nice, like nice length on the shoulder so that this all shows. I think that's very feminine and very lovely. Okay, so chambray, still woven. Chambray, cotton blends, rayon crepe. Rayon crepe would be really dreamy. And then terry cloth. Terry cloth is an interesting choice for sure. Yeah, I was definitely picturing it in more of a, like, PK knit or something. I was picturing it again more like a polo. So I was picturing it in something, a knit fabric, but not a ton of stretch. A stable knit. Which you could probably still do that. Like a mid-weight jersey, I would even think would work. Yeah, for sure. But these wovens, lightweight wovens, with a little bit of drape also would be really cute. Okay, invisible zipper and bias tape are the only notions. And then finished bust is 7.5 inches of ease, which for this one, because it is a like trapeze design, it is intended to have that much ease. So all through the sides, it's just kind of draping and falling in on her. All of that counts towards the bust. And then the picture of the back of her, whoops, too far. Oh, there it is. You can see at the bust line, which is around here, that's where a lot of this ease is coming in as well. This might be the rayon crepe. It's some kind of crepe. It definitely looks textured, right? Holds that crisp seam in the back. So yeah, 7 inches makes sense on this type of garment. The only thing you want to make sure of is that it fits from here up. You want to check the length of that. You want to check that it fits through the upper bust. And that's how you can ensure to get a really pretty fit like that. Okay, so far kind of to be expected, nothing revolutionary. This is a Mrs. and women's skirt, pants, and top, so you get the whole fit. It comes in sizes 10 to 18 and then 20 to 28 women's. Do not be fooled. A 20 women's and a 20 misses are not the same. So even though this is more size inclusive in terms of offering larger sizes, they're still offering the same quantity of sizes. Does that make sense? They're still offering 5, 10 sizes. They just removed the middle ones. So you're not getting 20, 22, 24 on the women's section, and you're not getting 18, 16 women's, like the smaller size of the women's section. The women's top is going to be drafted for like a D cut probably, and the misses is going to be drafted for like B or C. I don't know how many differences are in the pants. Like, do they automatically do a full seat adjustment? Probably not. But yeah, just don't be tricked into thinking, oh, I'm a 22 women's or 22 misses, so I can buy this 22 women's. That's not how it works. I also, I guess, want us to be a little bit more like smart and aware of, like, as a consumer, that this isn't size inclusivity. Okay, offering it in larger sizes is inclusive, yes, to those larger sizes, but not to the people in the middle. You almost like eliminate all of the mid-size people. And quite honestly, all of the petites, because 4, 6, and 8 are also gone. Okay, so it doesn't feel icky to me that they do it this way. I just wish that they offered the full range of misses like we've been seeing, right? Where it's 6 to 16 and then 18 to 24 or whatever it is. And then also offered that same equivalent in women's. So only offering these two is a little bit, it's kind of cheating and making people feel good that, oh, look, it's, size inclusive. It's not size inclusive. It's just available in a larger size range. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to get off that soapbox now. Semi-fitted top has puff sleeves, bust darts, neck facings, back slit opening with hook and eye closure, and 5/8 inch narrow hem. Semi-fitted skirt has waistband, waist darts, large pockets on the sides, invisible back zipper, back slit, and stitched hems. Tapered pants have waistband, side front pockets, and mock fly front zipper. Okay, so woven top with these little like pleated details, pin tuck details, however you want to look at it, in like, this is crisp cotton. This is crisp, like probably satin or something. And then we have the skirt, I'm pretty sure is in the same fabric. It said waistband. It didn't say elasticized waist. Did it say how we're getting into it? Oh boy, hold on. Does it have zippers? Mock front fly zipper. Large pocket, invisible back zipper on the skirt. So I'm assuming the pants have invisible back zipper as well. Okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, I I don't know what to say. I I like this, I guess. I don't I think it depends on your body shape, right? Like, I don't think either one of these would look good on me because I'm a pear. I think if you're an apple, it'll look great on you. I think even if you're an inverted triangle, it will look great on you. It'll give you those shoulders that you probably feel like, it's hard to accentuate your shoulders. But hourglass and pears, I'm not entirely sure about us, guys. Like, this does look cute on her. The colors are throwing me off too, I think, on this, but I do think shape-wise, it does look good on her. This just feels, gosh, I don't know what to say about her. It's just not really doing anything for her, I guess. But she looks great. The green color does look really beautiful on her. It does look, the color does look good on her. I don't know. I'm all over the place with this one, but here's the back. I have no better or worse feelings on the back for her. This is interesting to me. So we do have a very full sleeve, right? But right through here, maybe it's the fabric choice. We are getting some, it's pulling. Can you see? Almost like right here, it's too tight. Even though the sleeve is so full. And I think what has happened, oh, this is a nice detail, this shoulder dart. Always, almost universally, whenever we're looking at women's patterns, the shoulder sleeve is so, the shoulder length is so long. I just want to pull this whole thing up. And I think that if we were to do that and this seam were to live right around here somewhere, then we'd be utilizing the sleeve cap, which I don't think we're using right now. I think this part right here that looks a little bit loose is supposed to be where her shoulder socket lives, like the bulk of the top of her shoulder, and then all of this would it would fix itself after that. Even on her, it's too long, but because she has no bicep really, it's not giving the same issue. She's not curvy through here like the woman's model is. But yeah, I just want to hike this whole thing up. It's either, I don't know how it keeps happening. It's either with the neckline not being all the way, like not being small enough, or this is just too long. One of the two. And it's so interesting because they put this dart here for a reason. You see how the neckline here could be a little bit, what would this be? I don't know what the term is. Smaller, I guess. And then if you did that and attached the shoulder to that, then naturally this whole thing would be pulled up onto here. Yeah, not ironically, but I want to point out it does fit a little bit better on this front view. I don't know if they're adjusting it in between the pictures or whatever, but by the time we get here, it's definitely fallen. Okay. Okay, enough has been said about that. All right, so cotton sateen, that might be what the green one is, actually. Lightweight denim, linen blends, stretch wovens, hook and eye, invisible zipper, ×2 if you're doing the skirt and the pants. And then finished garment measurements are not available online. I want to see, because we never show the top of the pants, or the skirt for that matter. So you have a waistband, a dart, these are the patch pockets, you have this kick pleat or vent. Now the pants, I still don't know how you're getting into the pants. This is a faux fly front zipper. So, or faux fly front, it's not real. There's not a zipper in here. But didn't it say hook and bar? Now I'm really confused. Hold on. Hook and bar for the pants? No, C. One invisible zipper, O. And a hook and bar. My goodness. It did say mock fly front zipper. So what does that mean? Is the zipper still in there? How does that work? I don't know. I'm confused. It's either a fly front or it's not. But it's definitely not a center back zipper like the skirt. The hook and bar has to be up front here. So I don't know. That's just, the wording is confusing and doesn't match up with the pictures. So hard to say. Okay, now we have this jacket, camisole, and pants. Another wardrobe. I do like when they include like the whole outfit. I think it's great for people who don't have massive pattern stashes, right? Like you can just get a pair of pants and a cami and like be set. This one comes in sizes 6 to 14 and 16 to 24. Loose fitting jacket has drop shoulders. That's what it should say if the shoulder is intended to fall, the shoulder seam is intended to fall off the shoulder. Front, back, and sleeve bands, 5/8 inch narrow hem, bias cut camisole. Okay, I would buy this pattern just for that. Has all-in-one neck and armhole facings, another great detail. Bias straps, fitted pants have fly front, side front pockets, elastic back. All have 5/8 inch narrow hems. Okay, this is actually sounding really promising. Of course, they made the pants in black, so I cannot see any of the details on the pants. The cami looks great. I can't tell if it's tucked in or that's the hem. That's how long it is. So it stops at your high hip. It's not a very long cami at all. Because it has the all-in-one facings, it would be very easy. It got twisted and no one noticed. It would be very, very easy to convert that to a bra. you could put like a little shelf bra in there just using those facing pieces alone. You take the front one and you extend it down however long it needs to go, and then you take the back one and you do the same thing, extend it to however long it needs to go, put elastic in the bottom of it, and you're done. I have a video on adding one to a pattern. Just look at bra, maybe that would probably be the easiest search term, and you'll see the instructions on how to sew it. But drafting it, you would just, like I said, extend those facings down and then sew it in basically the same way. Okay, so the pants, again, really hard to see. The little jacket is seemingly pretty simple. I think we're just going to have to look at line drawings on this one because it's just too hard to see everything. Let's look at those really quickly. Okay, so drop shoulder, a little sleeve, and then a front band. Yeah, easy enough. Here's your bias cut camisole. And then here are the pants. So again, really confusing because it says, oh, flat front, has flat front. Fitted pants have flat front, side front pockets, and elastic back. So they're pull-on pants with an elastic back with these little slash pockets. If you don't have a pattern like this, these are really great trousers just to throw on. They're really comfortable. You can make them in a ton of different fabrics. Everything from like, you know, your traditional suiting all the way up to like, oh shoot, not scuba. What's the other one? Oh man, I'm not going to remember the name of it. The thinner version of scuba. Ponte. Is it Ponte? Anyways, one of those. You can make Ponte pants out of this too. And Ponte's great because it never wrinkles. It always holds its shape, you know, all of that. Okay, so then back to the back, pattern back, we have suggested fabrics. I wish they would have separated A and B from C, because you don't want to make C in silky fabrics with drape. So all they had to do was say AB, colon, and then here done C, colon, not also in. You don't want to make those pants out of lightweight fabrics with drape. That would be so weird. But batik, charmeuse, crepe de chine, rayon challis, yeah, anything lightweight and drapey. There's a lot more that fall into that category. And then for the pants, sateen for sure, stretch wovens, absolutely. And then, like I said, you can throw in stable knits like that Ponte. All right, so finished garment measurements. The bust of the cami is, wait, no. Oh, A is the jacket. I was like, what? Okay, so the jacket has, we don't need to look at the finished garment measurements of the jacket. It's going to be huge. Tell me that's all they gave. A and B. Okay, here's B. B is the cami, right? Okay, so the bust of the cami has 3 inches of ease. That makes perfect sense. And the hip of the pant has, drum roll, doing the math, 4.5 inches of ease. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. Do not size down in this pattern. Those ease amounts make perfect sense to me. All right, next up, oh, another cute fun pair of pants. Now I have a bunch of pants like this in my stash that I told myself I was going to sew last summer, never got around to it. I am determined to make them this summer. These are so fun and unique. 8 to 16 and 18 to 26 on the size range. Shorts or pants semi-fitted through the hip, have wrap front effect, elastic waist casing, concealed side slits, and stitched hems. Okay, so the shorts version of this is a little bit strange. I'm not entirely sure I understand the shorts version, but I do think that the pants version in this like lightweight polyester, whatever it is really fun, because when you're standing still, it looks like pants, and then you start walking and all of a sudden you've got some legs showing, and you know, it's like it naturally kind of spreads open. So that's a fun detail. This on a pant, this, I don't know if I want that happening on a short, but then it might not happen. I don't know, but these are really, really cute, right? Even in this little paisley print. So fun. Perfect. Again, I wouldn't have done it in this kind of heel. I would have done it in like a chunkier heel, smaller heel. You know those like braid where it's like braided right here and it's still got a little bit of a heel? I would have done that, or even a platform, like a little wedge, platform wedge would have been cute. They're just always going to work. They're always going somewhere fancy, and I don't go to any of those places. So there's that. I do wish we would have seen a picture of the back though. Oh, there we go. I just didn't go far enough. Okay, my bad. So, yeah, these look really good. They're a little bit low rise for me. I don't know that I like pant waistbands to hit right below my belly button. It's just not comfortable for me. Um, but some people love that. So, but I would probably raise it for me personally. Easy enough to do. But yeah, the fit of here looks really great. Everything looks really good about it. Cute. I like these. These are going in the wish list for sure. Okay. Oh, jersey is an option. Oh, and now I know exactly what I'm gonna make. I have the fabric already and everything. I've got to go get this pattern ASAP. Okay. Jersey, linen blends, rayon, challis, and silky types. Anything that's like lightweight and drapey all the way up to midweight and drapey. Anything with drape, you're going to be great. And then all you need is elastic, 1-inch elastic. Who doesn't have that on hand? Finished garment measurements of the hip are 4 inches. That makes perfect sense to me. Perfect sense. I would just have to check the rise and then I would be good to go. Fun. Fun, fun. Love these. 10 out of 10 on the whole thing here. Okay, next we have the shorts and pants. I was kind of hoping we were going to get the tank top, but we have the shorts and pants in sizes 8 to 16 and then 18 to 26. Shorts or pants semi-fitted through hips, sit 1 inch below waist, have partial elastic waist, fly front zipper with button closure, side front pockets with flaps, and stitched hems. Okay. So this is the partial elastic, right? They couldn't just say elastic back because it does wrap around to the front a little bit. I do kind of dig the pocket shape here. If you look at it here, that's really cool. No chance of it gaping open. And then you also have these kind of like pin tuck type seams. Those make fitting a little bit easier because you just have one more seam to kind of figure things out. And then kind of like a cargo flap here on the side. Now, they do look very thin in the leg on her. On her, they do not. They also are not really 1 inch below the waist on her. Probably 2 inches, 1.5 or 2 inches. Yeah, I'm not computing this super thin leg. That's just, I mean, even though this one's bent, okay, let's ignore that then. Even this one feels just like too tight, at least compared to the drawing. Yeah, these are just not matching up to the drawing again. Yeah, this is not wrong. This is not wrong, right? The fit is actually pretty good. Maybe a little bit wedgie inducing, but not terrible. It's just that it doesn't match the drawing like at all. Don't these seem like they would be looser? Maybe it's just me. Now that I'm looking at this, it does seem a little bit straight. I mean, easy enough to taper this out. Easy enough to give yourself some more room in the crotch curve, but yeah, I don't know that I would like walking around with that. That's not for me. Cute idea though. What is this, a knit garment? No. So there's not even any stretch in those. That just feels really uncomfortable for me. chino, denim, linen, and twill. Yeah, now that I am taking that in, that's definitely going to be a wedgie. So we need to lower the crotch curve. We need to raise it up a little bit and somehow give ourselves some more width in the leg. I mean, you have this seam here, so you could definitely just like, loop, like cut that up open and add like a panel in here, add some into the side seams, right? Yeah. Okay. So zipper, button, and elastic, that all makes sense. The hip finished, no way. No way is there, what is that? 5.5 inches. No. There's not a 1 inch. There's barely 1 inch of ease. So something's happening. Either this is not accurate or they made that sample for someone like 2 sizes smaller than the model. Something's not adding up. The math is not mathing here. Cute idea though. I think if someone figures out the fit, they'll be onto something. Okay, here is a very, very, very similar top to the Katherine Tilton one. Kind of ironic that they're in the same collection, but this one is Mrs. and Women's. And again, I'm not going to get on my high horse about the sizing, but 10 to 18, 20 to 28. Close fitting knit tops have collar band, front button closure, shaped hem, bust darts. View A has cut in shoulders. Purchase bias armhole facings. View B has 7/8 inch set in sleeves. I don't understand the 7/8 length sleeves. Okay, so this one has, the difference is this one has the collar and the button band is different. But other than that, it's a very, very, very similar design. Maybe some people could have talked to each other before they released this. The 7/8, this is a long sleeve. 7/8 in my mind would be up here somewhere. 3/4 would be like here, elbow, short. But it says it has a cut in shoulder. I don't agree. Cut in to me would be up here. This is a good looking shoulder for a sleeveless top. This is where all of them should hit ish, but cut in should come up into here where her shoulder kind of dips a little bit. And then again, the woman's one is always falling off her shoulder, always. Okay. Same pictures. Here's the back, beautiful back, center back. It is cut in a little bit here, which is nice. So all you'd have to do is just chop off that little weird extra part and you'd be good. Yep, that looks good as well. Is this at least a knit version? Yes. Okay, so Catherine's was woven, this one's knit, so there is at least that. Cotton knit, jersey, rayon knits. See the stretch gauge. Can you please just tell us what the percentage of knit is, please? Also, a little bit strange that this one is knit and has bust darts, and the woven one did not have bust darts. It should be the opposite. Like, in knits, you don't really have to have a bust dart because it's going to stretch over your bust, but it's not bad to have them in the women's sizes. The misses, you guys don't really need them. Women's, you probably do need them, but I don't think Catherine's had them at all for the misses, and it's woven, so it's a little even harder. But finished bust measurement is 2 inches. Do you see how the Katherine one makes even less sense now that you know that? Hers was even tighter than this and supposedly had 6 inches of ease. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Okay, so then the waist, yeah, the waist is going to be negligible, really. So, yeah, that makes sense. The ease, the fit, all of that seems to make perfect sense. I would just take in the little sleeve a little bit. Okay, next we have this cute little number. I actually kind of really like this. It's Palmer Plush. Palmer Plush is the team that invented, I don't know what to call it, pattern tissue fitting. So their patterns are known for fit and teaching you how to fit garments, how to use your tissue fitting on your body to determine fit issues, and then how to use that. Like on the pattern pieces, they have the lines that you would cut into to make various adjustments based on the fit issues you find after you test the tissue. Whew, that was a lot. 8 to 16, 18 to 26 on the size range. Loose tops have wide front crossover neckband, which I love, wide sleeve bands, and wide waistband. Views A and B have 3/4 sleeves. View C has long sleeves. Front seaming has inseam pockets. Okay. Now, I'm not a bottom band girl, but I can see myself making this without the band, and that would still be really fun. So this is like a updated take on a sweatshirt, really. I can't say it's for summer. I would never be able to wear this in the summer, but it is a really lightweight kind of pullover vibe. So I love this unique neckline. I love that it's oversized. There is some seam here that has pockets in it, which is really cool. Yeah, the sleeve is interesting, right? Yeah, maybe I would make the band if it were looser. I feel like the band is probably necessary, actually, for this pocket situation, probably. So I would just make the band like a similar size to the bottom of the bodice. So not all of this like ruffly gathery stuff. Just straight down and then a band. Because I'm not a pull it down and have it tight on my hips. I don't like that. Not great for us pair people anyways because it always just slides up. So then it doesn't work out for us. Um but yeah, this is really cool. I like having the three versions, although they're all the same other than the sleeve. Yeah, even the back is really cool. The back does seem a lot shorter than the front, but you can get a better idea of the seaming that's in the front. In the front, there's the same seam, but there's a pocket in it. Cool, huh? Yes. Yes. Okay. So, stretch knits only, cotton knits, interlock, jersey knits, novelty knits. Yeah, I was picturing kind of like a really lightweight sweatshirting, personally. Or supplex. Does anybody remember that? That had like a moment back in 10 years ago in sewing. I was kind of picturing like a supplex. It's something that's not very stretchy. I would be surprised if the stretch, yeah, because even they're calling for contrast on B and C. So A, you're making, A needs to be a little bit, well, not even. Okay, so A needs to be a little bit, the fabric needs to be a little bit stretchier for the bottom band only. If you make the bottom band wider, where it fits over your hips naturally, then you can use the same fabric, or you can use a fabric with less stretch. B and C have rib knit for the bands, so those are going to stretch a ton. The rest of the garment, it doesn't matter if it has stretch in it or not. Technically, you could make it out of woven, and then but still put the rib knit in the for the bands, and that would be all the stretch you would need. So I'd be surprised if the stretch factor on this was more than like 10%. I don't think you need a lot at all. So keep that in mind when you're searching for fabrics. And then no finished garment widths, only length. It's cute though. I like that one. I like this one too. This one and those other pants for sure. Okay, I've been digging, no pun intended, the retro patterns they've been releasing this year. They've really picked some good ones. This one is a 1960s one-piece dress, sizes 8 to 16 and 18 to 26. Front zippered tent dress. So this is reminding me a lot of the very first dress we looked at. Flap and button trim, has stand collar with top stitch trim. I don't know what that means. Full length sleeves or sleeveless, from the 1960s. So it's very similar to the first dress, but instead of having that yoke thing and all the tiered skirt, it just has these seams and then a center front zipper. This is probably is it called a lapped zipper, where you use a polyester zipper, but so it's not invisible, but the seam allowances of the fabric is what covers it. What is the name of that? I think lapped is when one side of it covers the entire zipper. I don't remember what this is called. But then you have this just one flap. I don't even think it's a pocket. I think it's just a flap, and your stand collar, sleeveless or sleeved. That's it. Okay. You also have back shoulder darts. This is real cute. The line drawings make it even cuter. Linen, poplin, synthetics, which I guess is polyester, synthetic wool, and wool blends. I don't know who is wearing wool blends in the summer, but okay. It would be a really great wool dress in the winter, though, with a long sleeve t-shirt hanging out, like layered. So cute. A 20-inch zipper, hook and eye, seam binding, and a button. So I think top stitch trim is not a trim you purchase. It's just the collar is top stitched. Okay, and then finished, we have 3 inches of ease in the bust. Perfect. And then we have a whole bunch in the waist and a whole bunch in the hip. That makes perfect sense. I want to point out too that the sleeves have darts. Okay, so this is allowing for ease of movement and allows you to like bend your arm without compromising fit anywhere else. So again, when we're talking about fabric, anything that's really structured and typically hard to move in, all of that would be eliminated with how this is constructed. I initially was picturing it in like, for some reason my mind went patchwork, like all these in different, I know that that's a lot. I can also I'm picturing fall. I'm picturing corduroy, wool, maybe denim. Denim is having a moment still. So yeah, that was what I thought for this. That's what came to mind initially when I saw it. Now we have another one. This is from the 1960s as well. Sizes is the same. Semi-fitted dress with or without bias standing collar. Love the bias collar. Has short kimono sleeves. Look at this. Button or top stitching trim. The same thing as I said before. Look at this. This is the sleeve. The sleeve is like it's like a dolman, but like a whole piece. Like, I don't know, like it's got its own thing going on. I don't know, that's so interesting. And then the back has the zipper, and then this is all non-functioning. Very cool. And then the bias collar is cool because if you were doing stripes or plaids, it would look different and you wouldn't have to worry about matching them. Wow, that one's fun. Some of these is hard to tell if I made this, would it look vintage or would it look like a 1960s dress I found at a yard sale, or would it look like modern I bought it in the store today? Brocade, dress weight wool, linen, poplin, and wool blends. Again, why are we talking about these kinds of fabrics for a summer collection? I have no idea. What would I use? Gosh, yeah, the satines would be okay. A denim would be obvious. Yeah, it has to have some pretty decent structure for the shape of it. So structure and summer don't typically go together because structured fabrics are typically heavier and they don't breathe a lot. So a zipper, hook and eye, seam binding, 4 buttons, and buttonhole twist thread for top stitching. Buttonhole twist thread. I don't even know what that is. I have buttonhole thread, but I don't know if it's buttonhole twist thread. All right, finished measurements. Again, we've got 3 inches in the bust, and then the waist and hip don't really matter. But yeah, the fabric choices for these for summer would be interesting. You can find stuff that's lightweight and structured. Most of it's polyester though, and that doesn't breathe. You can find like a linen, but the summer weight versions of linen are going to be drapey. So you either have to compromise it not holding this shape or sweating to death. I don't know. It's up to you. The choice seems obvious to me. Just wait till the fall and make it then, and then use it as a transitional piece. But here we are in April talking about wool. Okay, this is a Mrs. dress with sleeve variations from the 50s, 4 to 12 and 14 to 22. Butterick vintage 1950s dress with and without sleeve, sewing pattern, swirl skirted dress. Swirl skirted. Does that mean circle? Has the little boy collar, aka Peter Pan collar, and skirt pockets. Button closing down the back of the bodice, which is impossible to do up yourself. Bare arms and shoulders. This is, wait, view A has bare arms and shoulders. If you have bare shoulders, don't you also have bare arms? Weird. Bodice follows raglan cut. Okay, view B has cuffed raglan sleeves. Okay, what a weird way to say all of that they said. So it's a raglan sleeve Peter Pan collar dress with, I think, a waist seam with some darting here, slash pockets, center front seam on the skirt, which I think is then cut on circles. I think all 4 of these skirt pieces are quarters of circles. But again, you are not getting into this yourself. So if you're the rebel 1950s woman who didn't get married, they're saying this girl's in school. So maybe her mom is doing up the back of her dress. I have no idea, but this ain't happening on your own. So there's that. I don't know what they expect for us, these modern women. I'm a modern woman and I don't have a man here every single day to do up the back of my dress, that's for sure. Okay, little girls we're going to skip, although it is really cute. And then we have, a Playsuit, blouse and skirt. 1950s again. Sizing is 6 to 14 and 16 to 24. Vintage 1950s Playsuit, blouse and skirt pattern. Bare shouldered Playsuit. Does that mean romper? Has round neckline, no waist seam, buttons circling the hip line. That does not sound like, no. And little boy shorts. Boxy over blouse with stand-up collar, elbow sleeves, button onto Playsuit. Wait, what? Below elbow sleeves, button onto Playsuit. But the Playsuit has no sleeves. What are they buttoning to? At the top it buttons on? Full skirt does the same. The skirt attaches here. I get that. Okay, so I think what they're saying is below elbow sleeves, comma, buttons, like the hem or something, buttons onto the Playsuit. Full skirt does the same. Collar matches skirt. Oh boy, these descriptions are going back. They got easier to read and now they're hard to read again. Okay, so you have this Playsuit with, look at all these fisheye darts, right? Center front seam. I think this just means romper. A very fitted romper. And then the skirt attaches onto that. That is kind of brilliant. Because now underneath you have shorts. And you can run around and frolic and do whatever you want. The collar and the skirt are made of the same fabric. And the middle is contrast. Okay, cute. And then this is the little jacket where the jacket buttons on to the shorts. That feels a little restricting to me. Also, for those of you that are like, I don't like rompers because it's hard to get in and out of them, this is the, like, how could it get any worse? This is how. If you have to undo this jacket, unbutton, literally, all the buttons, or your jacket falls to the ground while you're going to the bathroom. That's not it. Let's look at these line drawings. I mean, it's adorable. Not for me. but the concept is really, really fun and cute, and I hope that there's somebody out there who just does this up and just kills it, just walks out of the door with a super amount of confidence and just owns this look. These buttons around my hip, those aren't it. This is so tight, I bet my butt will hang out of the bottom of these. It's not for everyone. That's what it is. But the concept is super, super cool and cute. I do love the idea that the buttons attach to the bottom of the jacket. But yeah, you have to take the jacket off completely, unbutton everything around your entire body, then unzip this, take this entirely off, and then go to the bathroom. Same thing with the skirt, because the skirt, well, I guess it unzips to there. So in theory, you could just unzip this, take this down, hold this up and this down, and then go to the bathroom. I don't know. It's a lot. I normally don't have an issue around like clothes inhibiting me going to the bathroom, but this would definitely be one where I would be like super frustrated. Okay, cotton poplin, denim, linen, piqué, sailcloth, seersucker, and terry cloth. Interfacing for the over blouse. So they don't really separate the Playsuit fabrics from these two fabrics. So I don't really know. Like, I can imagine this in poplin and denim, but not in linen. I could do piqué. I don't know what sailcloth is. Is that like what they make sails out of? Because that's not breathable, so that wouldn't be it. Seersucker, terry cloth. Yeah, the fabrics are a little confusing as to which one they're intended for. The skirt and the jacket, I think, could be any of those, but this in specifically, I would want to know, like, okay, what's not going to give me a yeast infection? Oh, you guys are going to comment about that one in the comments. I just know it. Okay. 22-inch zipper, hook and eye, 8 buttons. And then the skirt has just some seam binding. And then, okay, let's take out this Playsuit. 5 inches of ease, you're out of your mind. 4.5, there's no way. What is the Playsuit waist? 24, 1 inch of ease in the waist. Okay. And then the hip, 5 inches of ease. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And also, I don't think that that's the look, to have it be so loose on top, super fitted at the waist, and then loose on the bottom. No, you should be going for probably 2 inches in the bust, 1 or even 2 in the waist, and then you can do your, I mean, even 5 in the hip is a lot, but you could go up to 5 in the hip for sure. But nobody's talking about like the length of the short or any of that, so who knows? Who knows? Fun one though. Fun to talk about, fun to look at, you know. Okay, and the last one's a little girl, so we're not going to look at that one, although she is adorable. Okay, Butterick, you know, sometimes Butterick is just too much for me. It's too working woman for me. It's too, I don't know, like, I'm not cool, but I'm cooler than the typical Butterick woman. But this one did have some great things in there. You have to really look to find them, okay? But they're in there. The bias cut top is definitely one of them. I also kind of enjoyed this little number for sure. The pants are an absolute yes for me. And both of these dresses are going to be great in the fall, I think. Oh, and I also, of course, liked the Palmer plush top. So that's like half of them. So I think that that's pretty good. Let me know what you guys think about the summer collection in the comment section below. Are you going to be grabbing any of these? Let me know your thoughts. Otherwise, that's going to do it for me today. I will see you all very soon. Bye.